Hello, this is a different video for me. So this time I'm not actually going to do anything inside here. This is related to an issue I had recently with Autodesk. So I have an AEC license, which I believed allows you to use your software on one device at a time, but to have it loaded on two devices. It turns out I can actually have it on three devices, but obviously you have one user, so you can only really use it at one time. So generally, I work in my office and I take my software, or I shut down my software and I zip my files, save them online, and then at nighttime I come home and work at night. So generally, I log out at work maybe once or twice. It's been overlapped use, maybe, not that I recall of. So recently I went home to Ireland, like last year, whatever, and I didn't bring my laptop because I was going for a weekend with my son, and I got stuck there with COVID for like 10 days. So while I was there, I had to borrow a laptop from a friend of mine who is a detailer, and he has guys working for him, and he let me borrow one of his laptops. So I logged in on that laptop. While I did that, I was logged out of my other accounts because my desktop was logged out of and my laptop was turned off while I was away. So when I returned from that trip, I then proceeded to purchase a smaller laptop, which I have done a review of. I actually have it here. So it's a Lenovo 13-inch, just to make it slightly easier to travel with. So that was my plan. Travel with the 13-inch laptop, get a 15-inch external monitor, and the monitor and that laptop will be about the same weight as just my laptop. So anyway, long story short, I loaded the software on that laptop to see how it would work and did a review. And then maybe 2 weeks ago, which was like 2 months after this happened, I had an email from Autodesk. Basically, there was no question of, have you been using this on different computers? Have you somebody else working for you? Basically, received an email saying you need to buy the equivalent of what you already have. So I have a 3-year license. I paid for 3 years of the AEC collection, so $8,000 or $9,000, something like that. So my first year is just up, and I'll have 2 years remaining. So they wanted me to pay like basically close to 10 grand for overuse of software. So uh, just I was a little taken back at first because the email was sent like you just have to pay this. So I'm like, all right, this is my livelihood, but I don't have 10 grand to pay this. So I just work for myself and try to make a living. So I contacted them and they sent me a detailed document showing the computers that had been logged into. So there was one was my desktop, one was my laptop, and one was the laptop in Ireland, and another one was an Asus laptop, which I had purchased and returned after a week, and then I bought the smaller Lenovo. So there was five laptops, but these were not all logged in at the same time. So there was like two times where I guess I was probably on advanced deal on my laptop at home, and then I did a review on the smaller laptop here at home also, and maybe logged in twice there. But it was very minimal overlapping, and it was like two occasions, and they were looking for me to pay. So in the end, I contacted a couple of guys at Great Tech who responded straight away, but they weren't really able to help me. And as I was dealing with Autodesk at the same time, I explained my issues to Autodesk. I requested that they phone call me, which they didn't, but they did keep interacting with me in emails. And in the end, I guess they came to believe my story, which was true. I said, I don't, it's just me and my wife here. My wife doesn't know how to use the software, so I don't know who else will be using it. So I guess I've just kind of gone into a really long way to explain to you just to be careful when you're using your software. Just make sure you log out of your work computer, and then when you get home to work on your, so what I do is I can't zip my folder at work unless I'm logged out of Advanced Steel, even if that file is closed. So that kind of forces me to close Advanced Steel down and then zip my work from the day, and I put it in my Dropbox and save it. So when I come home, generally I'm definitely logged out. I also have Splashtop so I can access my work computer when I'm not at the office. So just all in all, be careful, because apparently I'm lucky. Apparently they don't often let these things go, that they do require you to make some sort of payment or buy some other license is usually the way. It's not like a fine or anything. They just get you to buy another license, basically. To If you've overused it on one computer, they'll make you buy whatever you have again. Now you can probably get that down to a lower amount, but so I would say just be really careful, because as you know, you're logged in all the time. Everything is monitored. So I guess they can make assumptions if you're logged into two at the same time. So if you leave your work computer on, which most people do, just make sure you log out first. I guess that's the short version of this video. Just make sure you always log out when you're not using it, because you don't want to get, because what can happen, what am I going to say if they tell me I have to pay 9 grand for a new license? I'm going to say, oh, I'm not paying that because I didn't have anyone else using it, and they're going to say, okay, we're just going to cancel your license, you can't use the software anymore, and then I'm out of a job. So so just be careful. Obviously this is really for people that work for themselves or loan users, I guess. Otherwise your company is taking care of all that. But just be really careful, and good luck. Any suggestions for videos, let me know. All right, take care, be safe out there, everyone. Bye bye.